them come. This is their fate.
All right. Let me get my Birdman hands in there. All right. Welcome back to the House of Wolves podcast. I am your host, Deontay, here with my near and dear friends, Jalen and Josh. Today we got a lot to talk about since Gamescom is happening as we speak. It's got a lot of topics that's been pushed to the forefront, so we got a lot to say. But before we get started, per usual, Jalen, Josh, tell the people how you've been, what you've been up to, what you've been doing, how's life going, what you've been playing since last week. Talk to the people.
Shoot. You want me to go first this time, man?
Yeah, he out here trying to change it up.
Some games you played.
That boy changing it up. Go ahead.
Nah, I ain't got no games I played. I was just trying to change it up for the sake of it. But what I've been up to, same old YouTube. I was talking to Deontay a little bit about like mics and different things like that, trying to, make my videos a little bit better. I'm currently trying to get this little mirror thing so I could record on the back of my iPhone.
No, okay.
Instead of using my front-facing camera. So that's what I prefer to do, but I haven't really found anything. I found out that I could like AirPlay my recording through my MacBook.
Yes, you can.
But somebody is talking about Apple to remove that feature from models 2018 and older. So I don't know if I'm able to do it. I might have to. They said it's a way to do it because older MacBooks can do it, but I have to probably like downgrade like some type of software, shut something off like within like a command prompt type thing or whatever. So that's kind of annoying. So basically they took the feature away, and I think I might have updated too far after figuring out I need to update my computer in order to do that. So, but that's what I'll probably try to work on that sometime this week to see if it don't take too much time. Because they tell me to go in, do these files, download this thing, use this little third-party software to put this for, what I'm saying? They tell me to do all that stuff, and I don't like doing all that stuff for real. But other than that, I mean, like I said, just the YouTube stuff. I haven't really been playing anything. I played a little bit of Final Fantasy 7 this week, and then I've been on Multiverses. I think my skills low-key kind of getting a little bit better in that game. I've been doing combos, taking people out at 50. I'm looking like, hey, man, me and George W. working in this game. So... We almost at rank. I think we almost at platinum rank 1, bro. I think we getting real close to that mug. So we just want to try to at least get into diamond and then just call it one. And last thing, remember you was telling me about the Gleamium, the premium currency in that game?
Yeah.
So I think I might have had enough, bro. But I ain't never go to my battle pass and claim my stuff in there. So nor did I claim the stuff on my fighter like fan and stuff that I'd be using. So that might have been what cooked me, unless they automatically reward it to you at the end of the season.
They don't. I don't think
they don't.
I don't think they do.
See, I don't think they do either, bro. Because I was like, man, I ain't. And then George had told me like, yeah, bro, you get that stuff if you go into the thing and claim it. I was just like, wow.
Yeah.
Because I don't even open that battle pass up because I truthfully don't like the game. It's just the easy game to get into. The mechanics is flawed. There's so many things wrong with that game, but it's a funny game. The game funny, bro. Fundamentally, it's not a good game.
I already told you why I thought it was going to be successful, and it is going to ring true for certain people. But it is something that you have to have a level of entry that's small, but you also have to have a fun base. So I think that it has staying power, but some people might think otherwise, and I think that there's a case for both. For me, I always felt like the game has staying power. So,
yeah, and your character that you said ain't good, Josh, Wonder Woman, she #1 in the world.
she go off every time.
Bro, Wonder Woman be working. They're the worst people to fight. I'm like, bro. Every time I see a Wonder Woman, I'm like, man, Josh said she sucked, bro. So it gotta be true. I'm looking like, man, she the coldest one, bro. I can't lie to you, dog. She be working. But that's
just because she good or she broken? Because that was the problem that everybody was fighting and when the game first came out was broken.
I mean, people still broken. Like Iron Giant got an infinite combo he put me in and stuff like that after they took him out the game to fix it, but put him back in and it's still there. Granted, it might be another different combo. But nah, she just be, bro, they be working, bro. I don't know what they be doing in this game, bro. I swear some of them people not playing on a controller, dog. Like it don't make sense what they movement and stuff. I'm like, bro, the math ain't math and dog. So
Yeah.
but that's about it. I ain't gonna ramble on too long. So
Okay. Well, glad you're having some fun with some games. What about you, Josh? What you been up to? What you been doing?
I ain't really been playing too much. We played a couple matches the other day in Overwatch and Street Fighter. I've been wanting to pick those up again because Street Fighter is still a fun game, and it's a lot of new characters in the game that I want to at least learn how they play. Like I was playing with Ed um, the other day, and he's a boxer, so he got super close range moves, but he also has some sort of like magic abilities that add some range to it. Like you can grab somebody up from range. So I'll probably get back on that game this week. Play some matches online, and then I just saw the trailer for Terry, which we could talk about. But the new DLC characters also look good. I don't know if I'm gonna buy any of them yet, but they all look fun gameplay wise. So Street Fighter 6 is still in a good place, and it's the only fighting game that I'm still interested in like playing, even
Yeah.
though I don't have time for it. Because I was looking at Tekken, and Tekken looks very good, but just for me, Tekken is too much to like learn or invest in. With all the stuff people be doing in Tekken. Street Fighter is still competitive, but it's a little more straightforward and for somebody who casual like me.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, yeah. Otherwise, I haven't had the chance to really play any console or PC games, but it's gonna change this week. It's a lot of good games coming out. I feel like, well, it wasn't like a lull, but the last month or so in the summer for me was slower as far as game releases, which is good because I needed the break. First
Yeah.
half of the year, like every week we got something new to
For
play.
sure.
So yeah, and Overwatch finally dropped a new season, so I got to get y'all back on there before we start getting cooked by the matchmaking and putting up against some high level players that
Yeah.
take y'all
The
resolve
ELO
away.
going crazy through the roof. Yeah. That's pretty much what it was.
And
I
we
think,
get on Overwatch, and y'all look at the other team like, man, them
man.
some sand ninjas. We can't beat them. They
Nah,
notorious.
no. We definitely for sure can hang with it with the best of them. It's just more so about whether or not we want to put the time in. I think that's really it. But yeah, I still like Overwatch. Overwatch still fun, and I'm definitely gonna jump back in with my May and play some more. But similar to what you did, I didn't play much. Street Fighter, Overwatch. Really was watching other stuff. Like I was just watching TV shows. I started that new anything with Vince Vaughn in it, I'm gonna watch. So Bad Monkey on Apple TV. I've been watching that. It's really good. I like it. I think a new episode come out tomorrow, so I'm gonna watch that again. But I've been watching a little more TV than and a little less gaming because I just been feeling like I haven't had a lot of time on my hands to really to push through or watch anything or to play anything. So I've been watching a lot of stuff. I did go back to The Witcher, like I said I was, and I kind of played a little bit of that. And then I kind of downloaded Grand Blue Fantasy again to try to see if I liked it. Still don't like it, but I'm gonna try because I'm stuck with it. Um, I was thinking about getting Final Shape because I think it's pretty cheap now. I think it's half off, like $30. So I was like, maybe I'll run through Final Shape just to get the story. But at the same time, I don't know if I want to do that either. So really, honestly, I think it's a lack of time that's really causing me to just kind of not be able to pick up and play something continuously. I don't really want to give that much time to nothing right now. So I just been chilling. I ain't gonna hold you. I've been watching a lot of TV and chilling. I don't know why, but me and my for somehow some way I started watching Love Is Blind UK, and man, don't watch those shows, bro. Like they're just stupid. They're honestly goofy. But for some reason,
Yeah, I don't even know what that is, but
anyways, it's a goofy show. And they had a US version, and they just had started a UK version, and it's a lot of goof troops on there, a lot of goofy situations. And anyways, me and my wife was watching it. She was watching it, and I was like, "Why are you watching this?" And then I sat there and watched it 2 episodes with her, and now I'm trying to figure out who gonna stay married or who gonna get married. But nah, not that much time into any gaming per se. I need to kind of get back to it, but I did try the Final Fantasy 16 demo on PC, which we could talk about that too. But okay, let's move forward here and let's talk about our first thing, which is kind of on brand because we were just talking about it. Street Fighter 6 Terry. Terry was just like his gameplay trailer dropped, and he looks really good too. I'm looking forward to like more of the hand-to-hand combat kind of. I don't know if they're all kind of like that, but it's kind of like a little bit different when it's like you're looking at Terry. I wanted to see how they brought him into the game, and so far so good. I didn't watch the trailer. I just was looking at what people were stating, and then people were saying that he looks really good. It looks cool. And things like that. So I'm just happy that they captured his essence correctly, and he looks like he's going to be a fun player to fight with. My whole thing about the Street Fighter fighters is simply that they cost too dang on much. And I guess I kind of wanted to pose that question to y'all because I remember when I bought the Championship Edition of Street Fighter, Jaden was making fun of me, but it was super cheap and it came with all the characters. So I'm like, why not? But they want $30 for like 4 characters. That's half of the cost of the base game.
Which includes how many characters?
4.
Huh?
Oh, you said the base game? The base game included 15 or 16, I want to say.
Let me find out y'all buying a game with 4 characters.
Nah, bro. I thought you said how many does the fighter pass count? Starting roster. Let me see.
Yeah, it's like 12 or 16. Like
it's 18. No,
Okay.
no, not 18. It's like 16 because they counting Ed, AKI, and Rashid and Jay and Akuma. No, that's not it. So there it was like 15, 14.
All right, they want 30.
Yeah, they want 30 for 4 characters. What you think?
Hey. Man, go ahead, Josh.
I don't
I
know.
mean, yeah, it's a lot of money. I think not all the fighting games right now, but I think a lot of them are in a similar space where it's like 4 to 6 characters. Tekken might also be 4 characters for the season pass. And I think there's just 1 character every 3 to 4 months is the drop rate. And I think it's expensive, and I don't think you should buy it. Well, I'll phrase it for myself. I'm not going to tell people what to do. I'm not going to buy individual characters. It's never, I don't think, worth it price-wise, unless I'm actually going to be playing the game. Like, this is the only character I'm going to use this year. Whereas if I want to, okay, I'm going to try out Terry, and then in 3 months, I'm going to try out the next character, it's not going to be worth it to be buying 1 or 2 characters. So what I'm planning on doing is just waiting till they do their sale when they're going to include more characters. Unfortunately, fighting games are just expensive, and every year, even the discounted version with all the DLC characters is still going to be expensive. But at least you're getting more value out of that, where it's like you're not getting any value when you buy the character like right away. The whole point is that you just want to be up on the new character and the new meta, because they kind of, not always, but usually the DLC characters are good, and so that's why you want to get them when they come out. And it's not because, I guess, the inherent value is there. It's just you wanna be good.
Yeah, You want to
Yeah.
kind of test them out, see what they could do. You want to see what expectations are with them, because if you're just fighting something you never had any practice with, it is a little disadvantage. But that is just, unfortunately, it's just way too much for and I was like, I'm gonna buy Terry. But there is a way that you can earn stuff in the game to buy characters, which is good. I don't know how beneficial it is. I don't know how if people like it or not. If it's like, as long as you play in a certain amount of time, you can almost get all characters. I think there's value in that. And there is a function of it. I just want to know how good it is. How many hours you got to put in, or what it takes to kind of earn those characters. So
Like how they did with the Darth Vader thing.
With Darth Vader, what do you mean?
When they calculated how much time it would take you to play in Battlefront
to
get Darth Vader. And I think somebody said it was like, if you do all that stuff, best case scenario, it might take you like 70 hours.
Yes.
So my opinion, I mean, y'all know I'm Mr. Frugal, so I don't think that is worth it. I think in a sense when Dragon Ball Fighters was coming out with their characters, I thought 5 hours was maybe a little bit too much for characters, but I was like, I mean, that's not too bad. And then I agree with, you playing with a new character, you're at a little bit of a disadvantage. The only thing I will say is, like, for the people that's like die hard in that game, they really care about being good and stuff like that. They might have a little bit more of a stake into doing it. And it's me thinking outside of myself, because I'm not a huge fan of fighting games. They have a bigger stake. So now they're up to date with these characters. So they know their strengths and their weaknesses and things like that. Additionally, for the people who don't buy those characters, they're subjected to only know what they can do when they actually come across the character. So now you like, hey, I don't know how this character played. I only fought 5 of them because I haven't had the opportunity to play them as much, because they don't come as frequently as, like, the base game characters or whatever. So that will put those people that went in the training mode to learn all the timing and the combos, their strengths and weaknesses, at an advantage over those people who don't choose to invest in those characters too. So, but obviously if somebody invested in those characters and somebody's not, that kind of will tell you how much that person really care about the game, if that makes sense. So it's kind of looking at things on both fronts.
So there's no way actually now to earn unlock the character. Yeah, as of July 2023, I guess that was something that they changed. So I was looking it up to see the grind, and everybody's just saying you can't do it, so you gotta buy them in general. So I don't know what that means for my 150 points, unless there's like a combination of, like, I can just now purchase 150 more and then buy a character, and now it's not $7, it's $4 or whatever the cost of the fighter coins are. But it just seems weird that I earned some and now I can't earn any more. So that's weird, but maybe this is what allows them to continue on making great characters, because it does take a lot to put a new character into a fighting game. But I don't think it's worth half the price. I mean, one fighter pass is worth half the price of the base game. I think they should be a little bit priced more accordingly, maybe $15 for the pack. But it just depends on what you value as quality in a game. So yeah, I'm probably not going to try them anytime soon, but I will continue to play my 2 characters I made in the game, and kind of go from there until I determine that the value meets the right, reach the right threshold for me to kind of jump into it. But Terry does look good, by the way. It's just that, has to be a cost benefit there. But anything else on Street Fighter 6, Terry? Anything y'all want to add on to that before we move on?
Of the DLC characters, I think it was Bison, Terry, Mai, and I actually forgot the other character. But it's
Ed.
2 Street Fighter characters. Who is it?
I thought it was the boxer Ed. Wasn't it Ed or something?
No, it was year 1.
Oh, gotcha. Not sure.
Let me look. Street Fighter.
Oh, it was Sakuma.
Nope, Akuma was year 1.
Wait, so who was the year 3? 2. I don't know.
Elena. Okay, yeah.
Oh,
Bison, Terry, Mai, Shiranui, and Elena. So of the DLC characters, Terry and Bison are the ones that I'm more interested in playstyle wise. I
yeah,
think people might be looking forward to Elena because I think she was like the most broken character in Street Fighter Five, but I don't think they're gonna do that again. Um, but like I said, unless I'm playing the game every day, I'm not gonna buy the characters. So
yeah,
hopefully we start seeing some sales soon. But
yeah, for sure. 50% off would do it does justice for real, especially when all the year two come out. It's obviously should be a situation where the year ones become cheaper. So, anyways, we'll see, and we'll keep posted on the success and pitfalls of Street Fighter 6. But let's move on to Black Myth Wukong Success. Um, let's talk about it. Them Chinese people play games, man. Obviously, it's like not. But
I mean,
they
yeah,
can
but it's surprising
even in
um
that regard.
as well because that is a big part of the success. But go ahead if you want to introduce
Yeah.
it first.
So the game Black Myth Wukong is a single player action RPG. Telling the tale, I think it's like Journey to the West. I believe it's what is based off of the mythology, and like it's based in a lot of Chinese culture basically. I don't want to do it a disservice by just saying it like that, but it does have a lot of um meaningful, I guess it pulls a lot from their history, and I think that's kind of really cool, and that's the only thing that I really like about most things when it comes to like these, far off one-off games, is where they kind of embrace their heritage, and they kind of make it big and brand and grand, and I think that's what they did with this game. And from what I can tell from small things that I've seen, that this is kind of on a level of a God of War type situation, where I was not expecting that in regards to like the big bombastic and like big set pieces, really good animation and character design. I was not expecting too much of that. I thought it was going to be kind of a base game where it was very small, but it had really great combat. But it seems as if this is like on the other scale of like level of polish that I wasn't expecting. So with that level comes a lot of eyeballs and a lot of people just wanting to see the game do good. But one of the bigger things that came out of this is that it was like broke a lot of Steam records for concurrent players. It was sitting at around 2.2 million the last time I looked. Um, and that's significant because that's beating out Cyberpunk. That's beating out multiplayer games. That's beating out so many games that have been on that list of Steam all-time concurrent. And this is just a single player Chinese studio creating a game that people are resonating with. And honestly, it just didn't make any sense to me. So what I wanted to kind of do is give you guys an open platform to kind of talk about the game and what you saw and what your thoughts are on why they're gaining so much success. Um, and I kind of go from there. So again, action RPG, single player game, not multiplayer. 2.2 million concurrent players, significantly beating out a lot of those top mainstays. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, like you mentioned, Chinese people do play games. Is just something that for us being, from the West, we don't notice it as much, because usually Chinese versions of the games or even like multiplayer is separate from our servers for different reasons. Like maybe there's laws about um, what content is shown in the game or things like that. So a lot of games end up just being completely separate versions of like Destiny for the US and Canada and everybody else. And then we also have Destiny version for China. But the player base over there is very big, obviously, because China is very big. and so now we have a Chinese studio making their own AAA game that's also coming out to a worldwide release, and it's single player. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's a rarity that we haven't seen to this level yet. I don't know if they're actually the first, but I do like, for example, Genshin Impact. They're also a Chinese studio, and they're always breaking records. But that's um, a gacha game. It's a whole different genre that not everybody is into. Whereas this is, like you said, a God of War, where you buy the game, you get your single player experience. It's like 40 hours long or something like that, and you get that full AAA quality that we want, I guess, want to see from the PlayStation 5 generation,
Mm-hmm.
to show that we have more games like God of War that can reach this level consistently. So I think, yeah, that's a big surprise. I didn't expect this game to be that popular. I know a lot of people have been talking about it a lot since they've been showing off the trailers. I thought it might take. I mean, it has taken a while for the game to come out, but I thought it was going to be one of those games that's in development forever and never come out. But they actually delivered. I think for the most part, it had a successful launch. I know there's some technical issues, but it seems like people are still able to enjoy the game.
Yeah.
But as for my thoughts on the game, I don't have much to say because I'm not actually interested in it. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, what about y'all?
It didn't come on the Xbox yet, right? That's a big thing. Everybody saying Xbox always missing out on those great games. No, but
But
it didn't come to Xbox yet either. It's on PS5 right now though. But go ahead.
Yeah.
so I was gonna say real quick. I remember my boys was talking about this game probably like back in like 2020 or something. So
Yeah.
I was kind of with Josh. I thought it was gonna be in development hell because I'm like, why this game ain't I ain't heard nothing about this game and stuff. But maybe some reason I didn't hear about the game. But not only because I don't look into as much as release dates and stuff like I used to. But because I didn't know it was a Chinese dev, making a game and stuff like that. So that might have had some of the, it didn't put on the forefront,
Yeah.
So I seen a couple things about this game, and y'all know me, man. I be trying to keep my eyes pure and ward off all evil and stuff like that. What Mermaid Man say? Evil. I did want to play that game and stuff like that. I think the Journey to the West, all that type of stuff. I think it's cool. Y'all know I'm a Dragon Ball Z fan. I know Goku heavily inspired off that. So seeing the original, type S of the Journey to the West like story and things like that made me want to play it. But I was looking at the trailer and seeing something that kind of looked a little like dark and you know what I'm saying, some weird stuff. I was like, I don't need no another Bloodborne and stuff. And I don't think it's gonna be to that level. But some of the stuff I was just seeing was kind of like, all right, bro. So I might look back into it and see about it. But again, I'm kind of like Josh. I haven't seen a whole lot about the game. I remember just seeing something more recently, and I was just looking like, hey, man, hold on. What's that in the game, bro? Rewind that, dog, because I don't think I want that in my crib. I don't want that on my TV, bro.
Here we go again, man. I'm sick of this.
I don't want
This
that
guy.
Diablo stuff on my TV, bro.
I mean, that's the whole point of the realistic graphics, so you can get realistic gore. You don't just get no PS1 blood spatters like you get.
Yeah.
Hey, them games look creepy too because they look so pixelated and all that type of stuff. Boy, man, hold on, bro. I can't make out what that is, and that's the scary part too.
Man.
Walking down that hallway after Grey Wolf is just some pixels on the wall. It's not real blood.
Bro, you see some of that stuff, bro. You be like, hold on, dog. I don't know what is that, bro.
Yeah. What I will
okay.
say is that I'm not interested in the Journey to the West like story. I don't actually like Wukong like in any game that he's in, but
Okay.
the gameplay that they show and his abilities looks more fun. I thought the game was originally like they were saying, oh, this is like a Souls-like game, and it doesn't really look like that. It looks more like, I guess, on the Neo side where you have a bunch of magic and abilities. He can make shadow clones, and it'd be like 8 monkeys on the screen hitting the boss and stuff like that, and like that looks fun. So if it's on sale, maybe in the future I might want to see it just for the gameplay. But like, yeah, as for the world and story, I'm not really into it.
Yeah. No, that's totally fine too, and I think that I'm I'm pushing more towards just buying it now versus later, simply because I don't have anything I want to play, I guess. And this is the only thing that's kind of enticing me right now. To the point where I will try to carve out time for it. Everything else on my list is just like I don't really want to make time for it. So that's the only reason why I'm entertaining it, because it is pushing to. I want that God of War experience. I want to be able to kind of see these crazy moments, and I have the PC to run it, so why not? But I don't know. I think I said I think that it was not on my radar in that sense. It was definitely one of those ones, wait and see. And now that I waited and I saw, I think that there is a lot of value in the game that could definitely keep me entertained for a certain period of time. So we'll see on that one. I just think that, you know, it is unfortunate when you hear about that type of stuff where, they couldn't get it to run on the Xbox and stuff like that. But at the same time, I think that Xbox kind of understood that a lot of these companies are PlayStation first and they come second. And now that you're adding an extra tax onto yours, where people to do the Series S, it's probably going to be a bad situation for you, regardless. But honestly, I don't. I'm gonna keep saying it, and I think everybody can kind of tell. I think Xbox does not care about those consoles. I think they care about their PC and their platform more than anything. So the consoles themselves, yes, they cool. And they're gonna keep trying to put stuff out to make them iteratively better. But I don't think they care about them like they used to. Honestly, I think that they don't really bring in the revenue like they were before. So, anything for them to kind of stop having to get people to buy expensive boxes, but still be able to access their software is really what their key goal is. And I can tell, and if nobody else can, I'm gonna keep saying it. It's going that way, people. So, but yeah, unfortunate for the Xbox people that actually only have Xboxes. If they wanted to play that game, they're out of luck for a little bit until it comes their way. But that's pretty much it on Black Myth Wukong. Might check it out sooner than later. Anything to add before we move on? No? Okay, let's move on then. We are now going to Marvel Rivals, coming December 6th. Josh, can you tell me really quickly what is the value of this game to you? Really quickly. Go ahead. Now on the spot.
Well, also in that trailer, they announced that all the characters at launch and in the future are going to be free and unlocked right away. So you ain't got to ever grind for characters. And they announced Captain America and the Winter Soldier as like, the upcoming characters or whatever. So yeah, the value is you're getting a hero shooter, 6v6, I believe, with like 30 Marvel characters: Captain America, Spider-Man, Hulk, Iron Man, Punisher, Venom. Can't get those nowhere else in a multiplayer game.
Marvel's
It's free to play.
Avengers. Stop it now. We can play Marvel's Avengers still. Just like, go ahead.
Are those servers even still up?
Those servers are still up, man. I'm telling you. I think they are.
I think the game is still available, but them servers, I don't know. Because I remember they sent me a message. It was like, you get to keep all your content, but you need to redeem this stuff before this date, or you ain't gonna be able to do it. But yeah, even in Marvel's Avengers, Wolverine is not there, Venom is not there, Captain America's not there. So yeah, this for Marvel to be so popular over the last 10 years, we haven't gotten a lot of good Marvel games. And the ones that we have got are more single player focused, whereas this is finally like a multiplayer game. So yeah, if you just want to play an Overwatch style game and you don't want to play Overwatch, this is the next best thing. And it seems like a very interesting. Like, I haven't played the beta myself, but it looks like a whole lot of quality has been put into the game, at least. I know Jalen is always an animations and presentation guy, and that's where a huge point of the budget went. Everybody's animations and budget and all the menus, everything looks like they spent Marvel money on it, and that seems
Really?
worthwhile.
Is that what you get from it? I don't get that, but
So why don't you get that?
I just looked at it not too long ago, and when I was watching it, I just felt as if it was just a tier lower than Overwatch, and I don't know why.
Is
But
it the shooting or the overall presentation? Because I'm talking about the overall presentation, not talking about the.
no, it's not the shooting. I haven't felt it how it plays yet. You know, I haven't played the game myself. I'm more so just talking about appearances. So I was thinking of appearances only, like the quality of the lighting, the quality of the world, the quality of the animations, the quality of the character designs. Like that's what I was thinking of. So when I'm saying that, because I don't see Overwatch's characters, I guess I'm more enthralled into the world a little bit more. But that third person view gives me a wider aspect to look. And when I look at it, it does feel like there's less there. Like it's empty. So that's what I was getting from it. I was thinking more finals. You know how it's got polished, but it's not. It's empty. That's what I was thinking when I look at that game. Versus Overwatch has a little more character than anything. So I don't know. That's what I was getting from it. I can watch it some more, but my whole thing with Marvel's Rivals is it felt like it wasn't at the level that you would say they put that money into it. But I could be wrong. What you think, Jalen? Which when you saw it, what did you think?
Yeah, no, I think we talking about different things. If looking at the gameplay, it is like the lighting and the levels and things like that are not the Overwatch level because Overwatch has like a strong, unique style where this is kind of more of a not. It looks more of a generic Marvel multiplayer in that sense for like the general gameplay, and I'm not really talking about that on its own.
Yeah.
But I guess that does matter because that's where you're going to spend most of your time. Part of the reason that this game got so much buzz is that when it first came out, people downloaded and played it, and they saw the UI and the menus, and like for example, you select Spider-Man, and it shows like a full animation where he's swinging through New York, and like the camera work and the actual presentation of the overall package felt high quality. Because if you're, for example, if you're gonna spend $20 on a Spider-Man skin, if you select that Spider-Man skin and he do some sort of crazy animation and he's saving Mary Jane while swinging through the subway and then land on the screen and now it's time to play, like that's where they're spending their money on the free to play element of it. So yeah, the money is there in that sense. The gameplay for me, the gameplay looks fine. I wasn't because I mean, for multiplayer games, of course, you want to be able to play them on like whatever on like the Steam Deck, so you don't want it to look like God of War in the multiplayer. But what I just meant that the overall, I guess, free to play package compared to something like Multiverses, which I was kind of not complaining about, but when Multiverses actually came out, I felt like, well, are these the final menus and the UI? Like it kind of looks janky and like not finished.
Still is. Go ahead.
Yeah, and that I don't want to say that though that is the most important thing because it's not, because the gameplay is the most important thing for me. But I think when it comes to online games, especially free to play games, that stuff matters a little bit more, because if there are any barriers in a free to play game, people are going to drop off. And so them front loading the experience where we got all this like the platform feels polished and amazing and fluid, that you want to spend time here to look through our battle pass to see what's there. So compared to like Apex, where it's like I can't even open up the battle pass without the game lagging, and so it's like I don't even go there.
Yeah. Okay. No,
so yeah,
is true.
I agree that the game is not. It doesn't look the same level of Overwatch, but I think that they're doing something good. My bad, Jalen. Though.
No, I was just saying. I was just saying I agree with you. I don't even look at certain things on multiverses because it take like 15 seconds for the menu to load up. I just like, nope, no, I'll never come back.
Mm-hmm. No, that makes sense, and I think that justifying the look will be done within the gameplay. And I think that you're right. I would love to have something more that can run on a lot more things than something that can't because of the level of detail they're pushing, kind of on a Concord level, you know. So understanding those two aspects of it, I do feel like Marvel's Rivals could have something there to entice me to want to play. Um, Granted, I don't know how long, but it is something within Marvel that I feel like you know it just has an overhaul over it has a lasting appeal because of just how much it is, how big it is now. So but we don't have to wait that much longer. It comes out December 9th. I don't know if they have any more betas or anything coming up, but December 9th is the official release date for Marvel Rivals. So at that time, we can be checking that out, seeing what we like, seeing what we don't, and kind of giving our final thoughts. But December 9th, mark it on your calendars. That's when that Marvel Rivals arrives. That's a tongue twister. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I thought it came out December 6th, but it's fine.
Oh, you're right. December 6th. I'm thinking another game that comes out, Indiana Jones. December 6th. Absolutely right. December 9th is Indiana Jones. December 6th, correction on that. Apologies. Marvel Rivals will be releasing December 6th.
So that means we get to be Captain America and all that stuff, and it's free to play, and
Yep.
ain't all the characters unlocked too, right?
He said that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm finna be in there throwing my shield, man.
See, Jalen got a character you're looking forward to, and Jalen ain't like Marvel.
I ain't got no character I'm looking forward to. I ain't gonna hold you. I don't got one. Not a one.
I don't dislike Marvel. I do dislike DC though. I will say that.
Oh, yeah.
I like DC more.
DC ain't gonna have no multiplayer games no time soon, so you ain't gonna worry about that.
They can just leave that words. I don't need to see no more DC, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I will be looking forward to playing with either Batman or Harley Quinn. I would like that. Like I think I do resonate with DC more than Marvel, just because I like the characters more. But yeah, and I think it's so simply because of Batman. Like Superman, I bangs with, but not that much. But Batman, like probably one of my favorite superheroes in like their world because of just how cool it is. I think that is really cool what they made with Gotham City and all that jazz. But everything else, I feel like it's just like side B. Like I wouldn't even know what to call front runner for Marvel at this point. They pushed everybody up to the front. We could pretend like it's Spider-Man, but I feel like I don't even associate it with it that much. But I don't know.
I don't know if we got much to say about movies. Because you mentioned something about Star Wars, Acolyte.
Yep.
But yeah, there's been a lot of Marvel news recently, and they got the upcoming stuff. But today I saw some articles saying that the movie's canceled now because they fired Jonathan Majors. But Shang-Chi was supposed to be the like the front runner for the new Avengers.
Oh really?
Dang.
Yeah.
Because the first Shang-Chi movie was pretty good. I liked it. It had some Dragon Ball Z stuff going on, and then it kind of just went away because his character hasn't shown up in like 4 years. But yeah, he was supposed to be, I guess, part of the lead in the movie against Kang, but that one's canceled, so they're gonna have to redo something with him. It do got a sequel, but I don't think the sequel will come out for a long time. So yeah, like you said, I don't know if phase 2 or not phase 2, whatever phase this is, phase 5 or 6 has a face for Marvel. It's supposed to be Clarence, or what's his name, Terrence, battling Eminem, but
Oh, what?
I know I like
Terrence.
Sam. I like Sam, but I don't know if people messing with new Captain America.
Nah, they ain't messing with new Captain America. I think.
I wonder why.
Yeah, well, Anthony Mackie, I don't know. He got those chipmunk cheekbones, and I don't know if they like it or not. I don't know, man.
Too many secrets in.
But yeah, I don't know. I think for me, Marvel Rivals will have to drop a. I don't know if Blade is in it yet, but if Blade's in it, I'll play with him. That's what I'll play with. But moving on, let's talk the favorite. This is the best topic of the day. Borderlands 4 teaser trailer. Oh boy. 2025 release date, fellas. Get your pockets ready. We're going back to Pandora. What I saw, I didn't watch the whole trailer because I was like, I'm going to wait to watch it. But I saw like a little thing where I think I saw Zero's gloves, which tells me they may be bringing back the original Vault Hunters, which would be technically amazing for me. Obviously, y'all don't care.
Didn't they already bring them back in 2?
I thought Rowan did.
No, not in 2 in 1 and 2 I didn't feel like they honestly I don't know what happened in 1. I don't know how it ended. 2 is where I start my Borderlands journey. So I don't know. So you might know some more.
I don't know the story. I just remember Lilith being into yeah.
They brought them back in 2, but you couldn't play with them. Like, they just played roles, and you would come across them and talk to them. I think Lilith played a heavier role, same with Rowan and stuff like that. But spoiler alert for a game that came out over 10 years ago. Rowan died in the second one, I thought.
Roland definitely died, but I'm not saying that. I said I think what's going to happen is that Zero, because that Zero was not in 3. I'm just saying what I think is going to happen is in 2, Borderlands 2, the Vault Hunters that were there will be in 4. I don't know about Roland. I guess when I said original, I shouldn't have said original because I didn't play Borderlands 1. I played Borderlands 2 and 3.
Cyber Rowan incoming.
So my understanding is that when I saw Zero, I was like, oh, they're going to go back to those Vault Hunters, or at least have some part of the story in Borderlands 4 versus what they did with 3, which is, whatever. But, I think that is going to be something that they kind of go back and kind of, maybe they don't even think about 3. Maybe 3 never happens. I don't know. I don't know what the world of canon is going to look like for Borderlands 4. Maybe they don't even, maybe they carve out a time period before the actions of Borderlands 3 even occur. Which would be great because, like, again, I like what they were building. And it didn't matter to me what the story was, because it's not about the story, but I just feel like that before Handsome Jack after Handsome Jack and everything, it just wasn't really anything to go off of. So maybe having it where Hyperion is still around, and that's something that they can still play around with. I would rather do that. So that's what I'm thinking. I don't know for sure, but I would think that would make more sense. But anyways, we ain't talking about that right now. We ain't talking about the hypotheticals. We talking about the actual factuals. And the actual factuals is when y'all pre-ordering, because I think it's up on Best Buy right now. Let me see.
For what? The game ain't coming out for like 7 years.
Yeah, I don't care, man. That tells me y'all committed. That's what it says.
What you mean?
I'm a pre-order when they have the Kevin Hart Roland DLC skin.
Stop disrespecting though, man. They had
I'm a pre.
Let me see this pre-order. Let me see the pre-orders.
I'm a pre-order mine when I stop falling asleep on Borderlands 3.
Oh, you only can wish list it. Go ahead, wish list it, guys.
I can't wait to pre-order that much. I just gotta stop falling asleep on Borderlands 3. We could try ASAP.
I'm a slight pre-order it. It's gonna be my
Hold on,
sleep medicine. I'm gonna put it on before bed. Give me some tea, lay in the covers, listen to that Borderlands music.
that country music that just be uneventful. Mad Max sound. He just like,
bro.
all right, bro.
Y'all
That
some
rock.
haters, bro.
He just like see a couple more skags. What other skag you want to see? Ooh, a badass skag. Yeah, I can't wait. The corny lines. I'm dying, but you're going to die with me. Just saying stupid stuff. He's just like, all
I'm
right,
on
bro.
fire. Help me! Like,
I'm having fun.
Somebody, for people that don't act like they don't like it, y'all sure do know a whole bunch of quotables.
Yeah,
because we played too much of it,
and we know we don't like it.
Yeah,
we get that game plenty of times, plenty of chances. Bro, I'm like, man, this game put me to sleep.
I played 1 and 2.
Man, ain't nobody trying to hear all that, man.
Hey, the most vivid time I remember falling asleep was when I was playing my homeboy.
Game. That's
and
a
I'm
great
like, man, I want to play more Borderlands. I need to at least beat this game, man. I was fighting Saturn, bro, on Borderlands 2. That big yellow robot falling asleep. Man, I fell asleep. My boy killed that robot, bro. I said, man, I'm done playing this game, bro. I can't take it no more. I keep falling asleep, bro. It's the same thing. I don't even remember the end of the game. I cut it back on and couldn't beat the game. I was at the final boss. He's like, what you doing, man? I'm like, huh? Falling asleep on the final boss. Come on now.
Man, stop it, G. Y'all hating on a game that's great. I don't even know what the problem is. Like you play it,
taglines.
Man, nah, y'all. You can play Tiny Tina's Wonderland. That's even got even more stuff to it.
Ain't that crazy little girl?
Yeah.
Does she make explosives or something like that? Or
yeah.
Man, I'm not playing that game. I don't even know why I even knew that, bro. I had to search my memory bank for her.
Oh man, you ain't had to search that hard. You knew exactly who she was because they make memorable characters. That's all it is.
Man,
that's all I'm saying.
I ain't gonna say they don't make memorable characters. They make a sleepy video game collectively.
No, they don't. I don't think so.
All right, tell that to the people that fell asleep.
To you and Josh, y'all ain't the people. Y'all two people.
We the people on this podcast. Two to 1. 2 to 1. I fell asleep on it a few times. That's just melatonin. That's just like exactly.
That's
why would I pay $70 for sleep aid? I can go buy some sleep aid for $5 at Walgreens.
Bro. We fell asleep on we call Sleepy Souls. We call plenty of games sleepy because we still like them. Like I fell asleep on Elden Ring. I fell asleep on Destiny. I fell asleep on what was that game called?
Yeah, I never fall asleep fighting a boss in Elden Ring. I was awake and hold my controller tight. I'm ready. And in Borderlands, every single second, I'm looking through the menu, falling asleep, picking up guns, falling asleep. Fighting psychos, falling asleep.
Yeah, psychos. That's what they call psychos.
All right, whatever. I ain't got time to hear it. All I know is y'all better put that bug on the wish list, and then once it drops,
I gotta go back and catch up. I gotta finish Borderlands 1, 2, and 3.
You know what? I'm gonna bite the bullet. I'm about to go ahead, cop 3 copies, and I'm sending them out via Steam so we all can play. And y'all gotta at least commit 20 hours. 20 hours.
I commit 20 hours.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have 20 hours on that game. I'm gonna show you my playtime. I'm just gonna have 20 hours. And you're gonna be like, why are you level 1 with 2 guns?
Official playtime. You can't just sit there and let it sit. You gotta actually play.
Hey, you gonna be like, bro,
put a rubber band
why are
on
you
my
only
controller?
at level 2, bro? How are you level 2 with 20 hours in the game with 3 guns?
We only playing together so I can watch y'all. So you don't gotta be doing those fake swap outs like you did in Destiny. I gotta watch you. So no, don't worry about it. It's because with stipulations, my boy.
All right.
But anyway,
work around them.
That's how much he hates the game. See, this man is crazy.
Hey, Josh, I'm gonna get a soundbite that be talking to him. I don't know what you want me to do, Deontay.
That's
crazy. Say something else.
That's
I
crazy.
am saying something else, Deontay. What?
Anyways, Borderlands coming close is soon to a store near you all. Please be excited. But let's move on to our next topic. We're gonna be talking Indiana Jones. I'm only talking Indiana Jones because we got a release date. I honestly don't have much else to say. I already said I was excited for it. I'm looking forward to it. Does December 9th hurt its opportunity to shine? I mean, I don't think so. What do you think?
I think it's gonna hurt its the conversation around it, because that's like
Holiday.
it's not gonna be in the Game Awards, right? Because Game Awards is usually
December
it's around
2nd.
that time, but
yeah,
it usually has a cutoff point where everybody. I mean, it could still be like a most anticipated game or something like that, but it's not gonna be at the forefront. I think that's the only thing that will hurt it. That being said, it's probably best because November is like Call of Duty time, so it's probably not a good time to drop around there.
Mm-hmm.
October is not ready, so yeah, it's still gonna make it this year. But I think it could be straight.
You think they ducking any smoke?
Holiday game.
I don't think so.
I mean,
what's our front runners right now for Game of the Year? I don't really see no smoke outside of 7 remake. I mean 7 Rebirth. And what? Black I could say that now. Black Monk Wukong probably be in the talks, but what else smoke is they running from? I don't see it. So I would think that they probably want to put themselves in that position, and maybe they will still do it. Where
Elden Ring. I mean, it's
DLC.
I don't know how they're gonna do it.
They ain't gonna.
I mean, they might try to sneak in it.
They probably would, but I doubt it because they can't. At least they can't justifiably say it's not DLC. So, yeah, I would have thought they'll want to put themselves out there right now because there is not that much competition where people will be like, oh, they deserve it more than them. If the game come out swinging and it's good, I think that they would love to have that notch on their belt that said that they had like a best animation, best sound design, best something, versus it not being able to even be around anything else, because those accolades do help sell a game, I guess, sometimes. So I don't know. I was thinking of it and I was like, that's a little too late. I feel like it was like Christmas time at that point. The year is already over. Ain't nobody really gonna have the talks. Nobody's gonna be wanting to do anything. That's the time when people are relaxing at home, chilling with family, not really like worried about pushing the presses around to kind of keep the game in motion. So that's where I was like, I don't know if that's too late. October 25th is when
it might not be
Call of Duty. So I think they.
Call of Duty is October. So yeah, November is probably the best time to drop it, but it might not be ready by then.
Yeah.
Okay,
well, I guess that's what I was thinking from, and I was just like, Indiana Jones may be great, but I don't think they're gonna get the accolades that kind of come along with making a great game, and maybe they just don't want the pressure of being judged in that way. So it could go both ways, you know what I'm saying? Like they could push it just so they don't have to be judged in that way because nobody's thinking about it. It's gonna be a year from now before they can be in a Game Awards. Plenty of other games have come out and they're not gonna be upset that game isn't being showcased in that way. But if they do push it beforehand, it's like you kind of are already thrown into it because you're running the bigger releases this year. There's no real competition, and maybe they don't want to be judged so harshly. I don't know. But that's what it felt like to me when they pushed it back to the 9th. I felt like they was ducking something. So, anything to add to that, Jalen or Josh? Y'all getting Indiana? Was y'all giving it a shot? I think I recall, but
Jalen, what did you say?
You're giving it a shot, man. What you mean? You better go buy your 3 months right now. $30. Nothing. You gotta play Call of Duty. I'm sick of this man.
But Call of Duty come out in October. I think mine expire in November.
So what? Up until December.
Why? Christmas gonna be around. I gotta be out here working to buy people gifts.
No.
Don't you
$30
want your
today.
Christmas gift from
Give
me?
you 3
Like,
months. 3
look,
months
y'all, you
of
don't want a
extra
Christmas gift
gaming.
from me.
It'll be content for YouTube. You can review it.
Yeah, you can review it. What you mean?
Yeah, I thought about it, but I figured people gonna look at the game and be like, bro, why are we watching? You suck at Call of Duty, bro. Like, bro, that boy cheeks. Look, get a
All
load
you
of
gotta
this
do is
guy.
pretend you good, and then blame it all on skill-based matchmaking.
Yeah, skill-based matchmaking.
Bro, they gonna know I'm trash based off my sensitivity. They gonna be like,
They
bro.
said, bro, I'm sick of this skill-based matchmaking. Hey, can we talk about how they debunked all of that and nobody cares? They still think it's the skill-based matchmaking.
Yeah, I was watching some YouTubers and like, well, they didn't address this point at this way, and what about me? I live in Australia and my ping is terrible, and you say it's supposed to be good, and like, okay, yeah,
yeah, okay, buddy. You're this it's so hilarious how that junk just
but
died
basically,
out
the article is they try to do a lot of work with the skill-based matchmaking. They did some tests with turning it off, and it got worse for people. People got more angry, so they turned it back on. People was happy. And it's like, but it seemed like y'all like it. The only thing is from the article that they did speculate that I do agree with is that they could try to be less aggressive with how fast it updates. Like if you win a match, it's gonna update right away. It's like, okay, now we got a match with somebody as strong as you. There could be some leeway with how fast it updates, but I think skill-based matchmaking overall is just not a big deal. Like it's kind of there for a reason.
It is what it is.
That's when you scrape somebody in Overwatch and then you be like, hold on, man, who is y'all? They like, wait, who is y'all?
Yeah,
y'all
and also when we lose,
bro.
and then they pit us with somebody and be like, well, I don't want to fight them because they not as good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, I mean, overall, personally, I like to be challenged. So even if I lose, it's not that big a deal. As long as I feel like I had a good performance, it is worth it.
All right. Well, I agree, and that's where I felt like skill-based matchmaking does have is a necessary evil, I guess, in regards to keeping people engaged in a game. Because I think as you allow it to be run off the rails, people are just either going to get more frustrated or going to feel like they're rolling over people, and it's not a challenge there to help keep people engaged. So, regardless of how you feel about it, if you're just crazy good at a game, sorry, you're gonna have to play other crazy good people. There's nothing against you. It's just that we want to keep you elevating as well as a person. And I guess some people just don't feel like that's the right way to go. So, anywho's, let's move forward. Next, we're going to be talking about Star Wars Acolyte getting canceled. Diversity loses. That's what I wanted to say when I first saw it. I said, I don't understand why I got canceled. I understand that nobody probably watched it for reason they felt like, because everybody kept kind of making it out to be worse than what it really was. And I think Josh, you watched it and felt as if it was not so bad. But why do you feel like they gave up so fast?
Well, one, I think the show was expensive to make. They had a lot of on-site, filming and stuff like that, and makeup and visual effects. So it was probably expensive. And even if it broke even, as far as like whatever view amount they got to make, it didn't exceed expectations. So from that sense alone, I can understand why it was canceled. Whereas something like Andor, which probably did a lot better in views and reviews, whereas this had mixed reviews and the views were probably like okay. That being said, I think part of it is just the conversation around it, where people are not praising it and they're more complaining. So there's less confidence in whoever was deciding to renew it. They would probably rather go with something else. That being said, like I said, I think it was better than a lot of the Star Wars stuff that came out recently. Definitely better than the last 3 movies. So it's not like the worst Star Wars thing ever, and it's not even really. I mean, there's Asian men, there's Black women, and there's women in there. And there's also white men in it, so it's not even like that. Anyways, it's not pushing any agenda. Blah blah blah.
So it really is
It was
just
it was it was
simply.
decent. But yeah, it had mixed reviews, and the community who latched onto stuff that they don't like were very loud. So yeah, overall, I think it just being mixed is what killed it.
Yeah. Okay.
That being said, I feel like they left some stuff open to continue the story, but as far as like this season one wrapped up, it answered most of the questions. The stuff that was left over is jumping off points for season two, but also it's Star Wars, and they can just bring those characters back in like a different show. That being said, I think that the worst part is that the actors who are actually very good won't be able to come back right away. For I'm not gonna spoil anything, but like the one of the villains was very good, and if they bring that character back in something else, I think that'd be great. They were one of the standouts of the show, but also all the other characters. If they wanted to bring them back in something else, that'd be cool too. But yeah, I don't know what people want from Star Wars. People didn't like the prequels when they came out, and so they tried to fix that with the new movies, but the new movies are also not good. So yeah, I guess stick to Mandalorian until they can figure out what to do with lightsabers.
Now, did Halo the TV show get canceled?
Yes, sir.
So they got canceled too. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like I feel like there isn't a lot of room for change. Like I understand that, there's a certain formula that comes along with certain aspects of a show or something like that. But to me, obviously Halo deviated quite a bit. Obviously Acolyte is kind of new. It's not its new concept. I think it probably has some deviations to what a normal story or story may be, but it feels like they're all getting punished for the same thing, which is kind of trying to think outside the box of what the normal script would be.
I guess the Acolyte is weird because I think if it was just I don't know, I'm just throw out some names. If they picked Henry Cavill, he's the main character, we're gonna follow his story. Then the internet community would just be happy because they love that person. But when you start having unknown actors, and especially when they're unknown actors who are minorities, then people are more vocal and they then complain that any part of the story that's like okay, they're gonna blow it up to be bad. Because I saw some articles talking about like in older TV shows, when we were growing up, TV shows were allowed to kind of have bad episodes. Like this episode was bad, but then the next 4 episodes were great, and that's why we love it. Whereas like if I guess because of streaming, if one episode is bad, then that kind of like ruins it for the rest of the season for a lot of people, where they're not gonna watch the next one, or they're gonna hyper focus on that one bad episode, and it kind of taints the whole rest of the show. And then if the streaming numbers is not up, then it's not gonna get renewed. So I think that even though the Acolyte did have some weak points, it had a whole bunch of strengths that you don't get anywhere else. Like you don't see just like one of the plot points is like the dark side, seeing the world from the perspective of a dark side character. Like you don't see that in the movies. You do see it in some of the games, but you don't see it in any of the TV shows. So it's like you don't get this anywhere else. And I think that on its own is a unique perspective. So why not continue with it to see more? Now we got to wait for them to cancel it, to wait 3-4 years to try a different show, to build up new characters who are going to cover the same topics that we've seen before. Whereas like, why not do something different? Whereas like it's not even like Halo, where Halo is trying to bring an old story and adapt it to something new. This is just telling something completely new that doesn't affect anything in the past.
Yeah. No, that's factual, and I think that it's cool to kind of hear your perspective because all I got was the other side. So it may be some opportunity for me to watch it because, like I said, I've been on this run of just watching shows, and I don't even care if it's canceled. I mean, if it's just more so another perspective on the Star Wars universe, I've been very intrigued by that. I don't think Outlaws is going to give me a lot of great, but hopefully it can pull through. But maybe something I just check out simply because of some of the statements you made there. So I think sometimes even people want to just cancel, people will revisit it and they'll start to appreciate it for what it was because people only care about knocking you down. But when you're down, at that point, they can look at it from a different perspective. I hate how people are, and that is what the people do. They will just bully you down and to the point where you fall over, and then at that point they look at it from a different perspective and they can see what the value was there. So I think a lot of that is could be the case here. So I'm gonna check it out, see if I like it or not, and kind of go from there. But unfortunately, it was scrapped, or at least it's been alleged that it's been scrapped. I haven't read the main article. I just been seeing a lot of the clips going around. So until I confirm it, I'm gonna just say alleged. But it's not looking so hot. That's what I'll say. But let's move on. Let's move on because we got little time, but we're gonna talk about a lot more stuff. Monster Hunter Wilds. I'm gonna skip a few things. Y'all had a pretty good, interesting conversation before we kind of started the pod. Kind of wanted y'all to revisit that and kind of talk through some of the things that, Jalen, you liked about what you saw about Wilds, and then Josh, some of the things that he kind of asked you off mic. So I'm going to pass it over to my esteemed panel to talk about Monster Hunter Wilds, and I'll let you introduce what you were stating before, Jalen.
So as we all know, over the course of the podcast, we got factions on here. And Josh, what faction you in, bro? Nah, don't worry, I answer it for you. You're a Nintendo boy. Nah, just flat. But anyway, the way things panned out, I know Monster Hunter been out on like PSPs, the DSs. I think they've been on the PS2 also. And they've been on the Switch. So Josh generally liked the Nintendo ones. I haven't asked if he liked the PS2 or PSP ones or whatever had came out, but Monster Hunter did something different that came out on a PS4 when they came out Monster Hunter World. Josh ain't like that one. Josh loved Monster Hunter, but Josh ain't like that one. So go ahead, Josh.
Yeah, so I played almost all the Monster Hunter games that's come out. I didn't play the PS2 ones, but I played all the PSP games. I played it when it came out on PS3, played it on the Wii, on the 3DS, all of them basically. And then when it went from the Switch version, which was like 4 Ultimate or something like that, or no, Generations XX was the one that was on the Switch. It was very fun. I played it a lot, and then we all went in the world together. And even though World was an upgrade graphically and it had more animations and stuff like that, for me it felt like a downgrade because when the game came out, it only had like 18 monsters, whereas the Switch one had like 70. The levels felt repetitive because we spending all this time like running around picking up evidence to trying to track the monster. They tried to put too much emphasis on the cutscenes in the story, and the story doesn't matter in Monster Hunter, so why am I watching all these cutscenes? So overall, it felt like a downgrade where I would just rather go play the old game than the new one. That being said, World was still fun, and I finished it. It became a grind at the end, like doing all this extra stuff that didn't add value to the gameplay for me. Like I hated trying to track down the elder dragons, and then I finally find it, and then I fight it, and I beat it. Now I got to go do it again, 6 more missions to track down another elder dragon. So anyways, it felt tedious and sucked out all the fun. That being said, I did go back to World like 3 years later when they dropped, after they did the expansion, Iceborne, and Iceborne fixed majority of my issues with the game except for one. but it had more monster variety. The locations had more variety. It was less tedious. You didn't have to spend much time tracking monsters. It didn't overload you with cutscenes or story battles where you gotta climb on top of the monster and battles that you gotta lose or stuff like that. So overall, it was an improvement over the base game, and so it felt like it was fun to me. So I like Iceborne. The only thing I didn't like about Iceborne is that they did kind of turn it into sort of an MMO where they're like uh, raid bosses with timers and stuff like that, where you gotta, you know, the first phase you gotta beat it in 3 minutes or something gonna happen and you're not gonna be able to beat it later. So I didn't like that focus on it where they're trying to make it really like an online MMO focus. Um, so anyways, all that being said, I played Rise. I like Rise. Rise was more simple, it was more straightforward. The missions were shorter, no story to worry about. That's kind of what I want from Monster Hunter. It's kind of like Diablo, where you go in, you fight, you get your loot, and you go out to fight some more. It's more meant to be about that grind.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Yeah, go ahead.
no, I was about to say. So with that being said, so have you seen anything about Wilds or anything like that? Or heard anything
Yeah.
about it? I mean, you're the biggest Monster Hunter fan I know, so.
Yeah, so Monster Hunter Wilds is the continuation of the Monster Hunter World um, engine or game because they're different Monster Hunter teams. So now it's the Monster Hunter World team's turn, and they're going back to what they built on there. Monster Hunter Wilds is bigger. The environments are supposed to be bigger, but it's also is bringing the um, how to put it, not fast travel, but like you can ride on pets now. Like they introduced that in Iceborne where you can ride on a pet, and they improved it in Rise where you have a dog that can fight in battle with you. Now in Wilds, it's even better. You can ride on your animal. They carry your weapons for you. They carry your items for you. They help you in battle. Um, it takes place in a obviously in a different environment, but they're bringing it back a whole bunch of monsters. And now that they've already kind of built the engine for World, they can bring all the old stuff from World into Wilds while also adding new stuff. So for somebody like me who felt like the roster was too small in Worlds, that won't be an issue now because they got all the old monsters from World and they can continuously add new monsters to this one. So it feels like an overall more finished or more valuable package. That being said, I don't know how they're going to approach the online balance aspect of it. Like I said, for World, they kind of leaned in more of a grindy MMO raid based meta. I don't know if they're going to do that here. That being said, everything looks good. They showed off all the weapons. All the weapons have more move sets. Like y'all played a little bit of Rise. Rise had kind of redid all the move sets to make them more fast and flashy.
Mm-hmm.
With Wilds, it's a sort of an in between. There's still some weapons that are slow, but they have some quick swapping in their move sets. But also, since you have your pet with you, the pet can carry like a backup weapon. So if you have a sword and shield for your primary weapon and you find something that's like flying, you can go to your animal and switch over to your range weapon because it can carry like your backup loadout for you. So that's gonna smooth out a lot of the tedium of trying to go back to camp and switch stuff. So yeah, overall, I think it looks really good, and I'm definitely gonna get it. It's just I haven't been, I guess, super hyped for it because I don't think I'm gonna have time to play it when it comes out. Because now that I'm a dad and I'm working a lot, I don't have time to be fighting all these monsters.
Yeah.
But if I have some friends who I do a weekly podcast with who can hop on with me to hunt some monsters,
Then you do a
that situation
podcast?
might.
That's kind of cool. You do a podcast. I know you did such a thing, but you might have to feature me and Deontay.
But for y'all who I think fell off of World, but y'all still enjoyed it, is there anything that could get you into Monster Hunter, or you think it's just never gonna fly?
Listen,
Yeah,
I
so
bought Rise, I bought Worlds, and I didn't buy Sunbreak because that was like the DLC for Rise. But I bought the last two, or at least the last two that were meaningful and change. It's not that I don't like the concept of the game. It's more so the whole um aspect of Monster. Because remember, I bought the other game too that was like a clone. It was like Wild Hearts. I thought Wild Hearts had some really unique mechanics because you can build stuff as well. But it's nothing wrong with the gameplay itself. It's everything to do with the point of the game. Like, I don't find myself getting enticed by the point of the game, and that's really where it lies for me. It's never been about
Is it because you
gameplay
don't
loop.
like the
The
not
point of the
aesthetic, but
game
like
is
the
just to
armor and
continue to
stuff?
get better and get better stuff. But I see it as a grind fest that isn't fun because when you get a different gun, it shoots differently. But if I'm just upgrading the same weapons to be stronger, to me it just feels like I'm not really progressing. So I can find fun in a loot shooter that changes the mechanics of the weapon or shots or changes my style of play. But I think in Monster Hunter, when I play it, I feel like I'm just locked into one thing anyway. And as I continue to get better or get stronger in that one thing, it doesn't make me feel like, oh, I'm having a great time. It just makes me feel like what's the point? So that is my concern about Monster Hunter and why I always fall off of it. It's never about the gameplay. Like, they have to fix that for me, and I don't know if they can.
Yeah, so and I kind of resonate with Deontay. I had World, got to a point in World where I couldn't. I think it was that one boss. A lot of people was getting stuck on the Nanja or something like that, or Enahatha or something. I forgot what that jump was called. But again, I mean, it's grindy. I think it take a lot of time. I did have Rise also. I didn't play that much Rise. I'll be honest with you, um,
Rise
but
was a
I
lot
think a part.
faster. A lot faster. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I didn't get that one a thorough chance because I bought it for multiplayer purposes, and we know how to switch multiplayer is, right?
Yes.
Grade ABS. Um, so I'd be willing to give it a try. I did like playing World to some capacity, but I think if they improve like the quality of life, where I'm gotta keep, like you said, something about going back to the camp, doing all these things, improving the story stuff. I gotta find footprints and things like that. If they can make it more like concise and I feel like I'm getting my time, then my time's worth, then I think it'd be something to play. And again, even if some people like some of those things, I think this is probably a crapshoot, right? But if they was to implement something to make things just a little bit faster for people who don't have time to play games, like a lot of people in this world don't, it's not it's a common issue at this point. So if they're able to do things like that, have people to play with, more streamlined multiplayer things like that, I mean, I give it a try. I seen some of the gameplay and stuff. I was like, I mean, this game look kind of straight, bro. Like, you know what I mean? But again, if it's gonna go to some of those things that makes Monster Hunter, it might be a little bit of a hard sell unless they really improve like the quality of life and stuff. Because at the end of the day, I don't have that much time to be doing that. And I remember being pissed off. When I say pissed off, I was Jalen McPissed offers, like I used to literally play the game for like 2 hours. Mind you, I'm in school. We'll go to work. All right, it's 9 o'clock. I gotta go to bed. I got class in the morning. This and the third. I'm fighting the boss for 2 hours, and you know what I got to walk away with? Nothing. I ain't got nothing to show for it, bro. I just been getting scraped for the past 2 hours, bro. That's debilitating. I don't want to have that feeling again because that's 2 hours I ain't gonna get back. So again, the game was smooth. I'm not the biggest Monster Hunter fan. I'm over here pushing my limits and stuff like that. And I seen some of the gameplay. I was just looking like, all right, man. I mean, I know Josh played. I know Los played. I know George played. I know I can get Deontay to play it. And I'm like, all right. I mean, the game could, you know what I'm saying, get another shot, bro. But again, I might have mentioned, as somebody who don't play Monster Hunter, I might have mentioned some things that makes Monster Hunter Monster Hunter. And I'm asking them to fix the core of the game, and it's not gonna be Monster Hunter if they fix the core of the game to quote unquote fix. So
Yeah.
that's my
Yeah.
sentiment.
Yeah, I think a lot of that is fair because for a long time, the Monster Hunter community was like, no, we don't want them to streamline it because it's part of the fun. And I kind of understood it as well, where it's like, it's meant to be slow paced and difficult. So don't remove the stuff that makes it fun. But overall, Capcom has improved it. They've made the game faster. They made it more convenient. You don't have to grind as much. You don't have to organize your inventory as much. So there are a lot of ways that they can still improve it. But yeah, at the end of the day, the whole point of the game is to go out, find the boss, and fight it. And if you're playing with your friends, then that's more fun. But to get there, just like Elden Ring, you got to pick up some potions. You got to find the right items that'll buff you, get your fire resistance up, and stuff like that. So that RPG aspect of like preparing yourself and then fighting the boss is what you do kind of with every fight. And so that is repetitive. And if you're not into that system, then you pretty much going to bounce off because that's the whole point of the game. Like I said, there's no story to it. The multiplayer is fun, but really you're doing the same thing just with friends. So if you like fighting Elden Ring bosses with your friends, you might like Monster Hunter. It's just for me, I don't see, for example, the Souls game experience and Monster Hunter. I don't see them as completely separate. It's just Monster Hunter is more focused on like let's prepare on the boss fight, and you're not doing all this extra exploration stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, it's still a fun quality series. But yeah, I don't think, for example, Deontay, if you bought 2 games and you tried both of them and you didn't like it, I don't think it's gonna change.
No, I don't. I agree. I just think that I can. Honestly, I'm okay with just spinning it again to play, to see if I try it again. I don't care. It's not like it's a big deal for me. I just think that that is what my sentiment is that I enjoy the gameplay for a certain period of time, and then I don't. So as long as they have a decent story that I can enjoy to get through, and like it seems as if it's now a journey more than it is a. It kind of like feel like it's almost only their Breath of the Wild type situation where it's not like linear, and at the same time it's like journey-esque. So if they're leaning into that, I don't know how they do that with that, but it makes me feel intrigued that they are changing up the formula a lot, and not in a bad way, but just in a way that may entice me or my brain cells a little bit differently in regards to like how this game actually plays. So I don't know, but to me, it felt like you were like literally in the wilderness, really having to do stuff and change stuff and set up camp, and you didn't have like this weird break where you go back to camp or nothing. You just kind of was always out in the wild. So that would look like it was intriguing to me, but I could be wrong. That's what it just seemed like. So,
Yeah. My bad. I think what they want to do, I don't know how successful it's going to be, is that the time that you're spending out in the world feels more significant. I guess part of the, like I was saying, the issue with world, you're just running around like doing random stuff trying to find the boss. But
yeah,
if they make it like there's more interesting stuff to do in the world outside of fighting the boss, I think that could be good. So if it's optional but it's still interesting, then maybe that's good. But yeah, my bad for cutting you off.
no. I was just going to wrap it up because I know we wanted to get to one last thing before we had to finish up. But yeah, totally agree with you guys. I think that Wilds is looking promising. Every time I see it, I feel like, wow, this looks really interesting. So I'm just glad that they are continuing on. I think Capcom is on a run of the century, to be honest. They are not letting up on nobody's necks, and it is as if everybody doesn't know what they're doing but Capcom. But we'll continue on, and hopefully we get a great game from it. But moving on to our last topic, and that is Starfield. Starfield has cars now. How do you feel, Jalen?
Hey, is the car flying or they got wheels?
They got wheels, but they also can fly. I seen it. I seen it occur.
Oh, you should have said they only can fly, bro.
Oh my
I don't
goodness!
like
Why
it.
would you want a spaceship and a flying vehicle? Why not just get two separate things? I don't understand.
Because it's not a flying vehicle, so it's levitation.
Man, I ain't trying to hear all that. The level of gravity that you're running around on, the level of gravity on these certain different planets will allow you to kind of sky away, so you can't fly technically.
I mean,
Pretty
you already
cool.
got a spaceship in the game. You don't need to fly. So.
This guy is insane. That's what I'm talking about. But nobody believes me. But yeah, Starfield has cars now. That was one of the bigger things that came out of Gamescom in regards to like, on the Xbox front. I don't know how much that changes the gameplay. I think that they honestly needed to put more activities on the planets than anything. I think that now having a vehicle is just helpful to get around planets and be more explore and do more exploring and not have to just run around to everything. Honestly, and there's no fault to the game. I haven't cut it on in a very long time. I just don't have the time to play those games, and the dedicated time I have for it, I put in it because I put in like 100 hours. So it's not as if I don't like the game. It's more so about now going back to it and what's going to entice me to get back into it. I think the DLC Shattered Space is going to get me back into the game, but outside of that, I don't think the cars are necessarily the thing that's like wow factor. I need some real wow factor that comes from like transforming the world, transforming how we interact with, going from space to orbit. I mean, going from orbit to planet. To see those real big significant changes that's going to change the dynamic of the game is really where it's at now. So, Shattered Space still looking good. Shattered Space still looking like refreshing and interesting. I still think Starfield was one of their best Bethesda games they ever created. It looks great to me. I just love the aesthetic of it. I feel like they grounded a lot of the lighting and they grounded a lot of the textures and like the assets in the game, and I felt like it was just magnificent. But everybody else think I'm crazy, or not everybody, but it seemed like there's like a lot of hate on the graphics of Starfield. But I feel like that was like one of their best showings ever, and I think that was really smooth. So, anyways, characters out beside the characters. I mean, obviously sometimes they don't get the animations right, but overall the package, in my opinion, it felt like it was a masterclass in technology use. But anywho, what do y'all think about Starfield getting cars? What do you think about Shattered Space and Starfield getting cars?
Yeah, I think it was a missing component of the game that would have been beneficial, especially when you're trying to do things like build bases and really explore on the planets.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately for me, I don't feel like that part of the game is that necessary or interesting on its own. Like, I tried to build a base, but you need a lot of resources and it takes a lot of time. And like I say, walking around the planet is very slow
Yep.
and stuff like that. So I didn't really engage in that system a whole lot. But if I had a car, that would, of course, be more useful. Because I remember in the later part of the game when I started getting my abilities, like there's an ability that makes you you can sprint without getting tired for like
Yeah.
a minute. And so I just I kept refreshing it because I don't want to walk slowly across the planet for this all the time. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's cool to explore to see what's there, but sometimes I just want to get to from point A to point B. Um, that being said, they added the Mass Effect Mako to uh, Starfield. It even got the same jump animation with the rockets boosting. And if you play Mass Effect, you know why that's funny, because the game had goofy physics for driving, and so you could like drive up a perfect 90-degree angle almost.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it looks cool. It's free DLC, so why not? Just play it, and it's a quality of life feature for everybody. That being said, I'm more interested in Shattered Space because I think that for me, Starfield was great
Yeah.
for the first like 30%, and the rest of the game didn't really live up to that first 30%. It kind of like the quality fell off. So like if it was an 8
Mm-hmm.
at the beginning, it kind of dripped down to like a 7 over time, maybe even worse in some areas. But for Shattered Space, it being a DLC with more focus, I think, on its story and side quests and stuff like that, that hopefully can elevate it again to what I liked about Starfield. I think Starfield was great, just spread out too thin or over too much content.
Yeah, because I'm still finding
Yeah.
stuff I don't remember when I was playing. I was still finding the weird stuff that was happening if I chose different things and stuff like that. Or even like in like small side quests. So it baffled me because everybody else was like, yeah, this is something that's normal for Bethesda games. But the polish was never there for me. So I was like, I'm not playing this crappy looking game to kind of get to the memorable moments because it just looks like crap. So when I was finally able to play a game that I enjoyed and they were still throwing in those special things that they normally do to kind of make a Bethesda game, I was like overvaluing them and everybody else was like, yeah, it's just normal stuff, buddy. But I thought it was cool because the only other game I ever played like that was Witcher and then Cyberpunk. Technically, I feel like Cyberpunk wasn't living up to that like level of detail when it comes to like choosing. I think it was very linear in a lot of ways. But Witcher was different, and then you get this, and I felt like that was just a good mesh of going outer space and having that same feeling. So like I said, I really did like it, and I still left it at like a 9 or 8 when I finally finished it up. But I get what you're saying too, is like you can see a decline in value or quality because you're like literally looking at it from a perspective of I don't know if you've played other games like from Bethesda, but those kind of things kind of does change your perspective on what they're doing. So Shattered Space is what I'm looking forward to, definitely, for sure. I am going to put some time and effort into that as soon as it drops. So I'm looking forward to that. And I believe, when the heck does Starfield come out? I saw a date.
Pretty much almost a year ago, right? Exactly.
No, I'm talking about the DLC. Starfield DLC, the release date.
Oh, September 30th.
Gotcha.
Is the DLC release date for Shattered Space. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So September 30th, you'll be able to play it, check it out, and go from there. I know I told Jalen about the 60 FPS update. I don't know if he actually played the game, but just so you know, Jalen, it is now 60 FPS, or at least can run up to 60 FPS in certain areas.
Yeah, you already told me that.
Oh, I'm telling you again. That way you can download it and actually try it.
And embrace flying cars.
Embrace flying cars. Embrace Bethesda. Embrace your Xbox ecosystem. You can't just abandon it like that.
Be playing it every day.
Ah, man, you be playing multiverses.
What you want me to do? What more do you want from me?
Well, he wants you to play Borderlands, but we ain't doing that.
I want you to play Borderlands. I want you to play Diablo.
Y'all heard it first, y'all. I didn't bought an Xbox. I ain't sell my Xbox.
Oh my god!
And I ain't cut my Xbox on. Now I'm cutting my Xbox on. Now I'm playing my Xbox more than ever, bro. This little left analog stick on my Xbox tearing my left thumb up. And you know what I do? I continue to endure. Not only is my left analog getting ate up, my left and my right ear is getting ate up because Deontay keep telling me that Xbox got too many games, and I'm trying to embrace the too many games that they got.
You ain't playing that. You playing one game.
Now he want me to play. Yeah, I didn't got the game. Now he want me to keep picking my games, and I need help, bro. As someone in need, this is a SOS. What do SOS mean again? This is a life alert. Like
SOS.
Wrong. All right, man. I'm gonna try Starfield. I might still have it downloaded, bro. But if that mother suck in the first 5 seconds of the game still, or if I see a frame rate dip or something like that, I'm dipping out on that game. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's over with.
They said it doesn't stand for anything. Save our ship, save our souls. They said it don't stand for nothing. This is a distress signal for Morse code. Yeah.
SOS means someone help me.
It's not helping. That's all I know. I know Rihanna's part. But yeah, it's time for you to play some games, man. That's all I'm saying. It's time to put on some of those Xbox Game Pass exclusives. Play some games, man. That's all I ask. All I ask is for you to play games. I feel like you playing multiverses, which is great. But it's time to cut on Diablo. It's time to cut on something else I didn't ask you to play. There's plenty of them out there. But yeah. That's what we looking for next. That's the next evolution of
You know,
Jalen.
Jalen just want to play anime fighters. This is
Man.
genre.
Nah, man. He ain't even trying to buy Bleach. We were just talking about that.
Man, I already done played Bleach fighting games.
Yeah,
Man.
you gotta play this Bleach fighting game.
He just needs somebody to play with. That's all.
Oh man.
Like on Naruto, playing with your friends is what's fun.
Oh my
Bro,
goodness.
them games be so simple, bro. They got all the games. They just got the Naruto game is one button a punch.
Man, that sound like a great time.
Keep hitting circle, bro. Don't whatever you do, don't stop pressing circle. All right.
I stopped playing those Storm Arena shooters for that reason. I was like, bro, these games don't have no depth to them, and anybody that tells me otherwise is crazy. Because I was like, I'm playing Street Fighter, I go play this junk, and I'm just like, circle. Like, circle. Substitution. Circle. I'm like, bro, this is so stupid.
Literally, bro. That's why I can't keep playing it. I played Storm 1, I played Storm 2, and I played Storm 3.
Yeah, bro. The game cooked. That was the game.
That was skip Generations.
I didn't buy Generations, but I played Generations, and I was just like, I mean, circle. Triangle, circle.
Same.
But they had the Sound Ninja 3, and they had all these random characters.
Now you can chakra dash in the air. Oh, now you got a substitution bar. Oh, now you can't do all the little cartwheels if you hold X and stuff like that. No, they just keep tweaking. They do slight tweaks, bro, and the ratings progressively on them games got worse and worse.
Yep.
Because it's the same game.
Same game, different skin, bro.
And then you put 20 Sasuke's in the game and this the Sasuke when he ate that slice of cheese pizza, but he ain't finished it. This is Sasuke when he finished that slice of cheese pizza. This is Sasuke when he ate that turkey leg last week and wrote on the whiteboard. This one can do more because he wrote on the whiteboard and it gave him powers. You're like, bro, all right, he's still doing the same thing, bro.
They knew they could start cooking us after they figured out how to make good animation or good animated scenes for their fights, like those quick cut scenes. Now, as soon as they got those down pat, bro, it was raps. I knew it.
It's intense, but after you start seeing it, because they repeat the people in the game, you like, all right, Itachi had the same move for the past 3 games, bro. Like, I'm tired of seeing this. Like, well, Naruto been doing the same Rasengan animations for the past 10 years. Like, I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? So I think like Storm Generations or 3, it probably hit its peak. After that, you started, bro, like, all right, bro, like, y'all just doing stuff now.
Yep.
Because even they put the Sound Ninja in the game, they doing the same attacks. You like, bro, you still doing that same attack from 8 seasons ago, bro?
bro, still doing that same. He said, boy, I'll be.
He said, boy, you still doing that same weak attack from 8 seasons ago? He said, boy, I beat you.
He said, wow, that boy was gone. Boy, got erased.
Boy was sick. He came out. He said, man, chill on my attack, bro. You know I've been dead forever. I ain't getting no new sauce yet. Like,
oh, my God. I gotta find that clip. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the pod. I don't really got much else I want to talk on. Oh, Final Fantasy 16. I'll speak on that for 5 minutes. Okay, Final Fantasy 16 for the PC runs a lot better than expected, but it's still not great. Honestly, ended up having to put it down to 1440p to keep a 60 locked FPS on a 7900 XTX. That's not good. It was cranking up the GPU utilization only to 99%. It did run well at 4K 60 if I had FSR3 on. I just don't like the implementation of FSR3. So I think with DLSS and all that other good jazz, you can get it to a 4K 60. But honestly, I'm more of a 60 FPS, no upscaling techniques. So I'm okay with 1440p. It does have some dips when it comes to the gut scenes and like actually the not cutscenes. Cutscenes are 30 FPS, but when they're actually showcasing big battle fights, those are not 60. Those are not capped, so you can have those go up and down. And they're pretty smooth. They look really good. Definitely a lot better experience than playing it on the PlayStation 5. It was a blurry mess, and most of the time I had to play it at 30 FPS. So it's just a better experience overall. I'm not saying that the game is better. I'm saying that the experience is. So if you wanted to play Final Fantasy 16, there's a playable demo out there right now that you can try. Game comes out in a little over a month. So you can check it out for yourself, see if it runs well on your system, and go from there. It's pretty bold. I'm really appreciating the Square Enix's push to kind of keep demos coming back. I'm loving the fact that people are deciding that demos should be back. It makes a lot more sense for this unnecessarily bad space we're in now with game development and how they just don't work coming out the gate. So Black Wukong had their test thing come out. Now with the Final Fantasy 16, it's coming to a head that, quality matters. The value of that we put on our technology actually working matters. So I'm just appreciating that people are starting to see this again, starting to actually appreciate it again. And like I said, good or bad, they put out a demo, and at least I can see where my performance will be at that time when I play the game. And obviously, your save data still carries over to the next when the full release comes out, because it's just the beginning of the game. But yeah, that's what it is. It is now going to be available on the PC. Didn't take that long as expected. I think it is just literally a year apart, maybe a little bit more. But yeah, Final Fantasy 16 hitting the PC. Josh, you copping? Because I know you didn't play it. I don't know.
Yes, sir. I can't wait for the definitive edition of Final Fantasy 16. All the DLC, all the patches, all the improvements, the best way to play it. I tried it a little bit on the PS5, and it was like you said, a blurry mess, and I didn't want to continue that. So I played the demo. Runs a lot better on the PS5. I am using DLSS and DLAA. But yeah, it looks good. Runs better than the PS5 version. 60 FPS. I haven't tried it on like super high frame rate yet, but 60 FPS on the combat. The story cutscenes are 30. But yeah, like you said, the big in-game cinematics, those are still 60. But yeah, overall, liking it, and it's gonna launch at $50, which includes the two, I guess, DLC expansions.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm pick it up. Comes out, I think, September 16th. If the 16th is the wrong date, it's in the middle of September when it comes out. So very soon.
Yep. So overall, appreciating the demo. Glad that they put it out, and it's good to see that these games are coming quicker to PC, because honestly, I think that's where I'm gonna stay. I was going to go back to the consoles, but I honestly don't feel like it's worth it. And between the two consoles I bought, I could probably just buy a better GPU. So I don't know if I'm gonna do it no more. And it's unfortunate because I lost a lot of value in like the games I purchased on those consoles. But I don't know. We'll see. I always say that, and then I end up buying them anyway. I'm a technology guy. What can I say? And plus, it's a way for me to play them away from my PC, which really is becoming less and less of a hassle as I thought. Because at first I was like, I hate sitting in front of my PC. I hate it with a passion. Now I say, well, this is the most convenient place to do it. I'm always here. This is turning to a different thing. Obviously, with those handhelds, it makes it a lot easier because it's like an extension of your PC. But yeah, once I realized that you can walk away with your PC with a handheld that continues your save, there was no competition out there at that point. So kudos to Steam Deck, and kudos to Steam for presenting it in that way, because it definitely helped me move over. So anywho's, Final Fantasy 16, check it out. That is all for this week, guys. I want to thank you guys for watching. If you got to this point, you're the real OG. I want to thank you for listening to us ramble on to this point. I know we talk a lot, but trust me, it's worth it if you got here. We got a lot of good conversations being had, more to come in the future, and I just want to thank you for being here. So, I appreciate you, and we will see you next time. Until then, be safe, enjoy the trees. Don't be a tree hugger, but, go out hug some trees, man. Do your thing. But yeah, thanks for listening. We'll talk to y'all next week. Peace.